Star Wars The Acolyte is going to be the most important Star Wars show ever. It could either make or break the entire Skywalker saga and could even ruin or change the prophecy of the Chosen One. Hey guys, what's going on? So for those of you who have followed my channel, you know that I am extremely excited about all the upcoming Star Wars shows and video games, including and especially The Acolyte. I mean, it's about time that we get a story from a dark side perspective, am I right? However, this show has placed itself in a unique position and is going to be one of the most important shows ever produced in the Star Wars canon timeline. I mean, it could literally change everything. And in today's video, we are going to be going over exactly how it could do that. But before we get started, as always, be sure to subscribe for more Star Wars content. Now, let's get into today's video. Okay, so one of my biggest concerns, and something that really excites me a lot, is how close this show takes place to the prequels. Now, I am a big-time prequel fan. I love them. I grew up with these movies, and Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, is a movie that I absolutely cherished as a kid growing up, and I still love it to this day. You know, Jar Jar Binks and everything. So really, anything that messes with that time period of Star Wars is something that I'm going to be overly concerned about and really wanting to pay attention to. That's really why I love the Clone Wars so much as well. But this is a much more serious matter because this show has the potential to not only affect the prequels, but the entire Skywalker saga. Unlike the High Republic, which takes place, hundreds of years before Episode 1, it's kind of far enough away to where it really won't affect or shouldn't affect the Skywalker storyline. The Acolyte only takes place about 50 years before Episode 1, meaning that there are some key characters and events that are essential to setting up and maintaining the Skywalker saga's integrity that are already happening within the timeline of the Acolyte. For example, Yoda is alive during this time, okay? As is Count Dooku, and at this point, Jedi Knight Sifo Dyas. Now, all three of these Jedi played key roles during the Clone Wars and the eventual fall of the Republic. So this show, if they decide to talk about these characters, is already going to have to handle them in a responsible way that doesn't tarnish or diminish their character development. I'm actually really hoping that the show does talk about them, does include all these great characters that we don't really know that much about, and we get to see a different, more deep, complex backstory to them that would just add to their characters in the prequels instead of taking away from them. However, there are two topics that I feel that the show will touch on that could ruin the entire Skywalker saga if they are not handled correctly. And those two things are Darth Plagueis and the Chosen One prophecy. Now, many could argue, and you'd be correct, that the Skywalker saga doesn't necessarily start with Qui-Gon Jinn finding Anakin on Tatooine, but instead starts with Darth Sidious and his master Darth Plagueis manipulating the Force and creating the Chosen One. Alright, because really Anakin's birth, that kind of starts everything. Darth Plagueis was obsessed with the Chosen One prophecy and was actually trying to create and use the Chosen One to his advantage, just as his apprentice Darth Sidious ended up actually doing. This was always part of the plan. In a way, Anakin Skywalker, the Chosen One, was created by the Sith to bring about the destruction of the Jedi, which he did. And we could see the beginnings of Plagueis' obsession in this show. I mean, the official statement released from Disney and Lucasfilm says that the Acolyte will deal with emerging dark side powers, like possibly the power to create life.
Darth Plagueis is a dark lord of the Sith, so powerful and so wise, he could use the Force to influence the midi-chlorians to create life.
Now, while this would be just awesome to see, and I hope that they do a fantastic job with it, they could just as easily mess it up. I mean, I think about how awesome and mysterious Darth Plagueis is, like right now with, the canon explanation of him. He's so we don't know that much about him. And in Legends, he is wanting to become this immortal being and become the Sithari, a Sith Lord who will change the galaxy and be the greatest among them, and it's for this reason that he is studying midichlorians and manipulating the Force in such a way that he could save life. He wanted to be the only Sith. He wanted to unlock the key to immortality and basically rule the galaxy as an all-powerful and immortal god. And in this show, they could just completely ruin all that and change his entire backstory. I mean, Darth Plagueis is going to be in The Acolyte, and I'm just hoping that they show him the respect that this, great character deserves. And if they do ruin his character, then in turn they could also ruin or change or manipulate the Chosen One prophecy. The Chosen One prophecy says, "A chosen one shall come, born of no father, and through him will ultimate balance in the Force be restored." They could change this in a way that would replace Anakin as the sole and only Chosen One and make Sidious returning in The Rise of Skywalker make sense. Because if Anakin really did bring ultimate, meaning ending, like final, balance to the Force, then how in the world did Sidious come back? If we're talking about balance, then the dark side of Kylo, he was balanced to the light side of Rey, so who was to balance to Sidious? Anyway, whatever. But I mean, Yoda did say that a prophecy that misread could have been. He said that in episode 3, he said that they could have gotten things wrong. So they could make it so that there could be multiple Chosen Ones like Rey and Anakin, and also make it so that the Chosen One only temporarily restores balance, and this way it would make it possible for the Sith to return again and again and again. If they decide to do something with the Chosen One prophecy, I really hope that they take care of it and respect it like it deserves. Now, I am a big fan of The Acolyte. I have extremely high expectations for this show and for the Star Wars story going forward. And really, this video isn't a complaint or anything like that. This video is designed for me to get my feeling, to get my opinion out there so that people know that I really hope that this show is very good and also does right by the Chosen One and Darth Plagueis and everything that's going on during this time before The Phantom Menace. Star Wars The Acolyte is going to be one of the most important Star Wars shows ever. It can either make the Skywalker saga so much better and add just another layer to this awesome story, or it can completely change everything. And really, either way they go, of course I'm going to watch it, but I just hope that they, instead of trying to change things, instead of trying to rewrite the story so that things work out differently, I'm really hoping that instead they just enhance and add and build upon and make the story even better. I am still excited for this show, and I'm hoping that they do a good job, but it is somewhat concerning. Honestly, I'm just hoping that we get more details sometime soon. Anyway, that's it for today's video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Also, don't forget to subscribe for more Star Wars content, and remember to forever be a Star Wars fan.